So yeah, some things have happened since the last podcast. The power did come back on that next day after I shot the last one, and still dealing with my head injury. I'm kind of getting back to normal. Looking forward to going to a neurologist here coming up in a couple weeks, so that I can get back on to my normal life. Hopefully they can figure out some things, or hopefully it'll just heal on its own by the time I get there. That's my prayer. But just want to say thanks to everybody that's reached out and offered their prayers and support and positive thoughts and all that good stuff. I appreciate you guys, but I am slowly recovering. That's all I can ask for, is just a little bit at a time. So moving on. And so last week I got Denise from VertiWorks to help me out on a couple recipes. They come from that website, and I hope you've had a chance to watch the pumpkin spice mousse one. It was this recent one, and I've got another one coming this Saturday. It's going to be pecan crusted pork chops, and I like the texture of it, but I can't really taste it, so it would be a lie to say I like it a lot, because I really don't know. However, my wife said I definitely need to make it again, so she likes it, and we pretty much got the same taste and things. So, but anyway, that's upcoming. I appreciate her helping me out with that, and using her expert taste buds. She's tried over 2,000 recipes on VertiWorks, so I classify her as an expert taste tester. So today I want to talk about some uncomfortable facts that come with keto lifestyle. You know, it's easy to put up a picture and show before and after and say, well, wow, man, this just poof. You know, here it is. Voila. Keto, a great thing. But there are some uncomfortable truths that come with keto, and I'm going to dwell on the kind of the negative things this week, and maybe I can talk about some positive things next week to come with keto. But I've been doing this lifestyle for several years. I mean, and so I've kind of lost the memories of when I first started it. I've still got the memories, and I remember what it was like, but it's not real to me as much as what I'm dealing with today. But I want to go back in time to when I was very first introduced to any type of keto. It was Atkins, and Atkins had an introductory phase, and it was pretty strict. And one of the things that happens is something called keto flu. Now listen to me. This is kind of like the initiation phase of keto. This is going to test you to see if this is something you're committed to and you're willing to do, or this is going to just throw you back into the lifestyle that you were in anyway. But keto flu is a real thing. You have muscle aches and cramps, and it feels like the flu. That's why they call it keto flu. But it literally feels like you have the flu. And fortunately, there's some ways to help with that. And I just wrote down a couple things here. One is the increased water intake. Make sure you're getting plenty of fluids, because it's going to flush you out. And matter of fact, I'll get into it later, you're going to lose some significant weight up front with keto. Consume electrolytes, things like sodium, magnesium, potassium, through foods or supplements. I know there's plenty of electrolyte drinks out there. Be careful, look at the labels, make sure they're not full of junk, sugar, or anything like that, but there's some good ones out there. And also, another way to avoid it is I know there's two ways to start anything: jump in both feet and just hit the trail running, or to ease in. Sometimes if you're having real trouble with the keto flu, maybe you just need to ease in and gradually reduce the amount of carbs you're taking a little bit at a time, and that way it might help some. But anyway, keto flu's real. And then another thing is constipation. Yeah, I said it, constipation. And it's a real thing when you switching up your lifestyle. You know, especially if you're used to eating a lot of fibrous foods and things like that, you know, you stay pretty regular. Well, when you're cutting out a lot of those foods and adapting to different foods, I guess the plumbing gets stopped up a little bit. Again, this is one of those things that's going to test you out and make sure you're committed to it. But it happens, and thankfully it's not long lasting. It for me anyway, I can't speak for anybody else, but for me, after the first little while, everything leveled off, and it's just like it was before I started doing keto. But one of the things you can do is eat some of those non-starchy vegetables, things like broccoli and cauliflower, spinach, things like that, that you're allowed for keto. Just keep your eyes on the amount that you're consuming. For me personally, I try to keep my total carbs, not net carbs, total carbs under 30 grams a day. So if it all manages and works out in there, that's great. So those are two of the big ones. All right, but then we get into things like sustainability, and the reason that people are put off by it a lot of times is they're used to what they eat. If you get up in the morning and you eat a bowl of cereal and you run out to work and you stop on the way or on the way home from work and you're going by Burger King and you're getting a big Whopper or a Big Mac and a Whopper and some fries, then you come home and you throw a cardboard pizza in the oven and you call it a day, your body is going to be in for a shock. And if you've done that, and I'm saying that because I'm guilty of that, I've done those things, but your body will go through withdrawal, literal withdrawal from carbs and sugar, because all of those things are loaded. And it's a real addiction to sugar and carbs. That first couple of weeks when you're starting in keto, you're trying to break an actual addiction. Just like a drug addict or an alcoholic, you're going to feel symptoms of withdrawal a little bit. You're going to feel like you're going crazy a little bit, but that stuff passes the longer you stay with it. So, but once you get into it, man, we have got so many great choices of food. And matter of fact, here's a tip that'll help you a lot. If you've got a favorite meal, just go to the Google box. Y'all know what that is, and type in your favorite food and then put in the word keto. And guess what happens? You'll have a whole lot of stuff pop up as options. And another thing about staying in it for the long term is you have to rotate things around, man. I mean, it's like, I love Spam. Everybody knows I love Spam. I love hamburger meat. I love all those things. And I grew up on hamburger meat. Man, we eat hamburgers 1,000 ways. But you know, here's the cool thing about it. There's so many, and when I started my channel, I made a vow to myself that I'm going to try at least something new, maybe once a week, once every 2 weeks. I'm going to incorporate, or at least try it. I'm not going to incorporate it unless it's really good. But I'm going to try new things, you know, so that helps a lot, because you're going to discover, it can become interesting trying new things, and you can learn how to make those things really good. So yeah, try new things. When you start this, for most people, it's a way of life from here on out. I mean, I've known people that's been on this for 7-8 years. Denise has been on it, I think, 7 years, and this is her life. It's not a diet. So if you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to just jump in and this is going to be a diet that I do a couple of weeks and I'm going to lose 30 pounds and I'm going to keep that off and everything's going to be fine. Sadly, that's not the case a lot of times. You can lose a lot of weight quick first start, and I love it because in some of the forums that I'm in and communities that I'm a part of, people are celebrating those first 3 weeks, because man, I'm telling you, you can drop 10, 15 pounds, 20 pounds in a couple weeks, and man, it's like, yes, this is going to be a piece of cake. And then 6 months later, you don't find those people posting anything. They're gone. They done quit, because after it levels off, you know, you're looking at maybe a pound, a half a pound, 2 pounds a week, if you're lucky. And then if you get stuck in a plateau, you got to figure out ways to break through that. That's another negative thing about it. You'll hit plateaus, just like on any weight loss program. You're gonna hit plateaus. Well, my next one, and it's kind of humorous, is we can't eat anything. That's about the craziest thing I've ever heard. But like I said, if your way of eating was Burger King, McDonald's, out of a box into your belly kind of thing, then yeah, you probably won't have a whole lot to eat. But man, there's so many great food choices out there. All you have to do is just have a plan. Don't be afraid to try things. That's the whole premise of my channel. I wasn't a cook. I mean, I could take something out of a box and throw it in the microwave, or stop and get something on the way to eat home. My wife was the cook in my house for a long time. She still is. I just cook certain things I like, but the premise of the channel is this old boy can do it, anybody can do it. I mean, that's it. And that's why I try to show everything, because it's like, you know, I'm not a chef, I'm not a professional anything. I work in a factory. I'm a professional factory worker, okay? But if I can do it, I promise you, you can do it. It's just a little bit of adaptation where I'm not what I was and what I was doing, and this is my new life. I mean, this is the way I do things. In fact, I couldn't wait to start making videos again, because while I was down from my injury, it's because it's my life. It's just something I do. And then I give the reasons for my YouTube channel in my first video about, you know, having it as a hobby and things like that, to stay away from things I don't need in my life. But so yeah, we got plenty of food choices. We just have to dig in and actually cook a little bit, and prep a little bit for the week. Food prep's a big part of my journey and my success so far, as just getting in the habit of doing that. It's not so bad during the week. I mean, I don't spend probably less than 30 minutes on any meal, and so yeah, prepping helps out a lot. But yeah, as far as choices go, for me, I had to find replacements for all my favorite foods, and my very favorite food is pizza. So man, I started experimenting with different pizza crusts. As a matter of fact, I put a link in the description. You can see all the pizza crust on the playlist there. But once I found that, and once I found a substitute for some other things in my life that I like a lot, man, it's not as hard as it once was, but we have definitely got great choices. And another thing that people complain about a lot is the cost. The fact is, everything is going up in cost significantly here lately. But if you really think about it, and compare your grocery bills, for me, I can speak for me personally again on this, I'm actually saving money, because when I was eating when I was addicted to carbs and food, let's put it that way, I would leave here, I'd stop by the Bojangles going to work, I'd get me a couple biscuits, that was like 10 bucks. I'd go to work, I'd get snacks out of the machine, that was probably a good 5-6 bucks. Get off from work, I'd go by Burger King, pick up some kind of little snack you do, some fries, some onion rings, probably a burger some days, eat that, then come home, and not wanting to hurt my wife's feelings because she had cooked dinner, I'd eat again. I'd eat 2 dinners in a day, and not counting if I ate lunch at work. So anyway, I was consuming a lot of food. But if you stop doing those fancy restaurants, except for on special occasions, you stay away from fast food, convenient food that you grab out of a machine, I'm telling you, it'll balance out and probably be lower if you'll pay real close attention to it. Because one of the cool things about keto is once you're on it a while, you're not as hungry and you're not craving those snacks like you used to do. So there's the cost issue. So those are just a couple of things that people kind of maybe didn't expect when they jumped into keto and started their journey, and then they got discouraged and quit. But here's the thing, it is a journey, and it's going to happen. Those first weeks you jump in, you're going to lose a lot of weight, you're going to feel on top of the world, you're going to be excited, and then when you start plateauing out a little bit, you're going to think, well, this is not for me because it stopped working. Well, it's still working, your body's just adapting to a new lifestyle. And if you just stay with it, you'll be surprised at the end of a year what a difference that will make. And I always tell people, man, I'm on my own journey. I'm not comparing it to anybody else's. Mine's been a long, crazy journey. But one of the things that I learned early on was nobody else can do this for me. I have to do it. And I have to be determined to go through whatever comes up, to stick with it. I always tell people it's 1 meal at a time, 1 pound at a time, and 1 day at a time. And you know what? That journey continues on. For most people, it's for a lifetime. So yeah, I thought I'd share those things with you today, and we'll talk again soon. Until next time, may the Lord bless you.